And those images bring to a close our coverage here from BBC News of the Queen's final journey through Scotland. Enormous thanks from me to my guests, Robert Lacey and Martin Geisler, who've sat with me here and followed the Queen's final journey. So from me, Jane Hill, I wish you a very good evening.
Thousands of people line the streets as the Queen's coffin is taken from Balmoral to Edinburgh. This morning, the cortege left Balmoral Castle, where the Queen died on Thursday, for a 6-hour journey to Edinburgh. Silent onlookers gathered along the route to pay their respects, and some threw floral tributes in the path of the coffin. The cortege passed through key landmarks as people bid farewell to the country's longest reigning monarch.
Just as a mark of respect to see her kind of on her final journey back to London, I think it's just been really important to us as a family, just to pay our respects and just say goodbye to just a really amazing woman.
The accession of the new monarch, King Charles III, was proclaimed in towns and cities across the land, including in Edinburgh. And in London, crowds continued to flock to Buckingham Palace, where the King held meetings with diplomats from the 14 countries that recognise him as head of state. And in other news this afternoon, Ukraine's military say their forces have tripled the amount of territory they've retaken from Russia in little over 48 hours. And mixed emotions in India as it holds an official day of mourning for the death of the Queen. Good afternoon. The coffin of Queen Elizabeth is being taken on its journey to her final resting place. It left Balmoral, where she died on Thursday, and has now arrived in Edinburgh. Crowds gathered along the route as the cortege made the 175-mile journey to the Palace of Holyrood House, where the coffin will remain overnight. Meanwhile, proclamations formally announcing the accession of King Charles III have taken place in Cardiff, Edinburgh and Hillsborough Castle in County Down, as well as in towns and villages around the UK. The funeral cortege made the 6-hour journey down the east coast of Scotland from Balmoral through villages that the Queen got to know well during her stays in Scotland. It went through Aberdeen, southwards to Dundee, through Perth and then to Edinburgh, ending at Holyrood House. My colleague Kirsty Walk joins us now from there. Kirsty.